Parapsychology Today, a program of investigation into the realms of the unknown. Suspend your mind for a moment and journey to a world beyond the five senses. Parapsychology Today is a program exploring ideas, theories, and concepts that have been around since ancient times. We'll journey to outer worlds and inner worlds. We'll look into such phenomena as past lives, UFOs, and hauntings. And we'll explore psychic ability as it relates to human potential. We do not intend to prove or persuade, but rather present theories and personal stories of ventures into the world of parapsychology. Whatever your beliefs, we hope this program will start you thinking about a reality beyond the five senses.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Parapsychology Today. I'm your host, Pauline Nortness. We have a very interesting show. We're going to talk about contacting the other side, and we'll explain what that is. Well, no, I won't explain it. My guest will. My guest is Ashley Fisher, and she's a light worker. Ashley, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What is the other side?
Oh, goodness. The other side I refer to, that can be considered heaven. It can be considered a different realm. But I say it's always heaven. If that resonates with people, but I like the other side in heaven.
Okay, so we're going to talk to people, though, aren't we, that have crossed over?
Yeah.
Okay, so well, first give us your background. What's your background in this?
Yeah, so I have psychics and healers on both sides of my family, great-grandmothers, grandmothers. Recently I found out that I had a family member in the 1800s. She was a faith healer. And she healed with her hands, and people from all over the country would come see her. So I definitely think it's in my bloodline on both sides.
So you've got it in your DNA, but you haven't studied. You don't take any classes or training.
No, real.
You're just a lucky person.
I guess yes, lucky and blessed, absolutely.
Do you do anything? I mean, do you do some meditation or something to keep up your abilities?
I do, and I'm always constantly wanting to learn more, and so I'm always, whatever draws my attention, I'll focus on for a little bit. So I do meditate. I always make sure I'm protected with the white bubble. I do a little bit of everything, to be honest. It's also fascinating.
So white bubble keeps out negative energies or anything that might harm you?
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay, so how did you learn to communicate with people who've crossed over or died? How did it just come to you, like you said, you have that ability?
It kind of did, and I didn't really expect it, to be honest. I think how it started, oddly enough, is when I had my spiritual awakening when I was 30, I activated my third eye, and I started practicing on friends and just kind of seeing what would come up, doing readings. And then I had a old coworker reach out and said, I had a dream about you, and I think you can help me. My dad's getting ready to pass, and we need messages from him. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. For one, he was still alive at that time. So I had a reading with the whole family, and he was nonverbal at that time because he was very close to crossing over. And it went very, very well. They were able to communicate with him, and he was able to say goodbye. So, and then it just kind of snowballed after that.
I see, because he couldn't speak, but he wanted to let them know he was okay and he was passing.
Yes. Yeah, and the family still had regular readings after he passed, and he was there every time he'd show up, like, just instantly.
So he had a good crossing.
Absolutely.
I think it's good to be with somebody who's crossing over, to help them.
Absolutely.
To help them get on the other side. So what do they tell you the other side is like?
So the other side is the most beautiful place you can ever imagine, but also what I like about it is that's where I believe the Akashic records are kept, any information that you'd like to know.
Okay, you brought a word up. People might not know what that is. What are Akashic records?
So basically, from what I understand, it's like this ginormous library with all the information you could ever imagine, everything that's happened, everything that will happen, that has happened. You can go there on the other side and find out what's what, I guess.
What's happened to you, or what's happened to everybody who's ever lived? What's
Everyone.
Happened to them? Oh, everyone? Just human beings? Just
everything and anything.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
that's mind-blowing.
Yes, it is.
Now, who might come to you to want to communicate with somebody, and how can you help them?
So a lot of times it's family members that have passed. A lot of times it's family members that have passed but have guilt about their life. So I had one father show up, and I call him the guy that drove a red Corvette. He showed up in my reading where he was driving his Corvette back and forth, and I said, "I'm sorry, someone showed up. Do you know this person?" She said, "That's my dad." And I said, "Okay." So he stopped the car, and he said, "Can you please tell my daughter I'm sorry, that work was so important," because he neglected his family. He loved money in his life. He loved fast cars. So they often come there to say, "I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing."
Well, that's interesting. How did the family, did that help the family?
Absolutely. She understood. Of course, it's in a very emotional time when you know your loved ones are right there, even if you can't see them. You can feel them. And when I'm delivering those messages, it's very emotional.
Do you get emotional too?
I sometimes do, but not as much as you would think, because I'm the messenger.
Right.
So
you have
I
to
don't.
keep yourself protected.
Exactly. Yes.
Does it ever get scary? Have you ever had an incident where somebody came in and scared you, or the
Honestly,
situation was scary?
yeah, there's only been a couple of times. And I would say, I know this sounds weird, but I'm a very blunt light worker. So if I see something, I'll say it to you. There was one time where I did a reading, and it was a big group reading. And I said, "Oh, someone in this group is using the Ouija board." And I said, "That's really not a good thing, because you don't know what you're bringing in." And I pointed at the person, I said, "You do some dark magic." And the person got very defensive. And energetically, I could feel her energy telling me, "You better be quiet," because she didn't want the group to know.
Really?
And honestly, humans on this earth scare me more than the other side,
Why so? How so?
because of some things that they're capable of doing behind closed doors, such as dark work and black magic. That just makes me feel a little bit uneasy.
Now, we brought up the Ouija board, so let's talk a little bit about it, because a lot of people have it in their games that people play, and a lot of people, probably innocent, don't know what's going on.
Absolutely.
So what can happen with the Ouija board?
The Ouija board is something that, to me personally, I just can't guarantee my safety, because it's like you're opening a door and letting anyone in.
You're not asking for specific, you're not doing protection, you're just asking a spirit to help you.
Yes, and I get chills thinking about it, because it can be very dangerous, and it can be very hard to get rid of spirits that you never asked for.
Have you ever come in contact with that, and how did you get rid of them?
I had one time where I was doing a reading, and I was not able to get rid of them, but so I was doing a reading for a couple, and I said, "Someone's been playing with a pendulum," which a pendulum is like this, it could be like a crystal.
Yeah,
or...
I thought pendulums were okay.
So personally, I don't use those either, but that's just because I don't feel like I can control that situation where I know who's coming in.
Oh, I thought a pendulum was just your energy, not anybody else's.
Personally, I still don't feel comfortable
Really?
with it. Yes, and so when I brought that up and I said, "Who's been using the pendulum?" on the husband, I saw this very dark entity that was like invading his spine. And he said, "Oh no, it's fine. I haven't done it for like 13 years. We stopped messing with that years ago." And I said, "Well, it's still there." And those kind of entities can make you very chronically ill, sick, angry. You don't know what's attached to it.
So you're using a pendulum to ask a question, and some bad energy comes in and attacks you physically?
I believe it can, yes.
Oh, gee, that's scary.
But, honestly, it's however you feel comfortable. If you feel like you can manage that, then more power to you.
Okay, let's see. Can you teach a person how to know if a loved one is trying to communicate with them? Like, somebody comes to you and you say, "Your father's been trying to communicate with you."
Mm-hmm. So I think one thing is our loved ones and animals that have passed, our loved pets, they're always around us. However, sometimes we don't see it. And I'll give a prime example of myself. When my grandmother passed away, every night I said, "You better show up. I need to hear from you. I'm very anxious." And it was 6 months later where she came to me, and it was a dream, but it wasn't a dream. So one way is they come to you in dreams. Often they won't move their mouth. I know that sounds weird, but
No,
they
but-
won't.
Yeah.
And she was sitting in her chair, and she wiped away my tears and said, I'll always be around you.
You heard that. You didn't have to see her.
100%.
Yeah, you didn't have to see her move
Nope.
her mouth.
Yeah.
Huh. So, how do they communicate besides dreams? Are there some signs? You feel sensations. Sometimes, I think my sister said she heard a song one time and it reminded her of this person. Hearing songs. Any other things? How do you sense their presence? Music,
Music.
smells.
Smells is a very popular one. Like if your grandfather had a favorite cologne, you would just get a quick sniff of that cologne. Another way is that they will send you songs, a random song that you haven't heard, but it was their favorite song. Oddly enough, a lot of the loved ones crossed over, they will sit right in front of you. If you're crying or if you're distraught or if you're praying, they will be right next to you. They'll brush your hair out of your face, or they'll maybe
Will
rub
you
your
feel
shoulders.
it? Will you feel it? Oh my God, that would scare me if I felt something.
Yeah, sometimes it does.
Can you ask for a sign? I mean, like I say, Mom, I want to know you're around. Can you ask for a sign?
Yes, and they will deliver it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one story is just before my mom passed, she told my sister, I'm going to send you a pink rose. And my sister found one next day, I think, in the driveway.
Oh, I have chills. And
Yeah.
they do, and that's honestly something, if you're comfortable asking your loved ones before they pass, what would you like me to find? A bird, a cardinal, a dragonfly, anything
Oh,
like
so
that.
we ask them before they pass.
Yes,
And you can ask them maybe after they've passed.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you prepare to communicate with someone? Do you have to protect yourself, like if you want to communicate?
I always do the white light around my whole body, but I just tap into my third eye. But my third eye is always on. I never turn mine off. So I just tap in and then say, okay, guides, who do you want me to see?
Do you need anything from your client? Like, do you need a photo or clothes or anything to help you find the person?
Personally, I've never used that, but I don't see why. I think it would be beneficial. It all holds energy, yes.
I was asking if it's better not to know anything about the person.
I like a challenge, so I like that.
No, knowing, okay.
Yeah.
Can you help a client who doesn't want to be contacted? Because it's like, if somebody doesn't want to be contacted, they say, I don't want anybody to come to me because it scares me. Can you help the client? Say, do you tell their dad or mom or whoever not to come to them because they're afraid?
They actually know that. The people on the other side do know that.
So they won't come to them? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I had one a couple weeks ago, which was interesting. The loved one on the other side was afraid to come to her daughter. And she showed up, and I could taste, my throat was burning, and I said, oh my gosh, I taste like alcohol. It tastes like burning. I said, has your mother passed? She said, yes, many years ago. And I said, she's here to say she's sorry, and she drank her whole life.
Oh, so mother was an alcoholic.
She was ashamed, and she said, I've been wanting to reach out to my daughter, but I don't know how, so I showed up now.
Oh.
And the daughter said, oh my gosh, you're fine. Come on over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so sometimes it's on the other side too.
Oh, sometimes the other side's afraid to come.
Yes, 100%.
But sometimes this side, like if I didn't want to see somebody, you could help.
Yes, and if you're closed off, usually I don't have anyone that someone shows up if they say, please don't show up. I think they respect that.
Okay. I was going to ask you if somebody's come to you and said, please contact my daughter, contact my child, or you've had that happen?
Not as often, but I do believe it's happened once or twice, yeah.
And have you ever had a person come to you and says, they want to see a certain person, or maybe they just want to see somebody who might come through? Let's say I come to you and say, I just want to see somebody, and I don't see who it is.
That's why personally I don't like the term medium, because a lot of my friends and family say, oh, Ashley's a medium. I don't like that term because that puts pressure on me to deliver the certain loved one that they want. I will tell you that I give everyone that warning beforehand, that I do see people from the other side, but I can't guarantee who I'm going to see because I don't know who's going to show up.
Now, a medium, can you explain what a medium is?
Yeah, a medium is one that talks to people that have passed over.
Okay, but you don't want to be considered that.
No, because I do a lot of things, and I also, like I said, I don't like the pressure of having that stigma, oh, you're always going to see people.
Okay, all right, because sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we didn't cover on people who've crossed over or people speaking to the other side?
I think one thing that's important is that they're always here for you, even if you don't feel them, but they always want you to talk to them. So that can be in prayer, that can be driving in the car, that can be
Yeah. Always want you
whenever.
to talk to them. Okay, have you ever seen anybody who's been in a bad place on the other side? Are there bad places?
Yeah, so there's been a couple of times where people have ended their life, and that is another thing where they're ashamed to go to God or the Creator to cross over. So they end up on the left door, the left side, which is kind of the purgatory, because they haven't had the courage or the strength to say, you know what, God's going to love me either way. So they are in that limbo, yes.
Don't they have guides helping them in there?
Sometimes they do, but sometimes they're so ashamed of what they've done. Even if it was an accident, they don't know. They're closed off like humans.
Yeah.
They're just
You
not.
don't, you don't see anybody, you don't see a hell, do you?
No, I've been told that there is no hell, that hell is here on earth. And so I don't believe that.
So you don't
yes.
see it?
No.
You don't see it, okay. Anything else that we want to talk about with people crossing over?
I think that's about it.
We covered a lot.
We sure did.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't think of anything else. That's interesting. Let me think if I can think of anything else. I don't think I can. Yeah. So, I like the idea of that people can go to a place to heal rather than just,
Yes.
if they took their own life. But, I kind of, if you take your life, you're in pain. So I don't know. Sometimes you can take your life and maybe not feel guilty about it because you were in pain.
Absolutely.
And then they're not in purgatory, maybe.
Yes, and this is a hard life, and I'll tell you, I've dealt with a lot of people that have ended their life, and a lot of them, believe it or not, was an accident.
An accident.
Yeah,
Okay.
they didn't want to go through with it.
Oh, they started and they didn't want to do it?
They started it, or the gun accidentally went off, or there's been a lot of times where it wasn't, they didn't mean to do it.
Okay, so that comforts the people that they left behind.
Yes, I think so.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks again, Ashley.
Thank you.
This has been very interesting. People have crossed over, yeah. We all cross it eventually, right?
Eventually we do.
Yeah. Okay. And I did think of a question. I heard that when you cross over, there's somebody there waiting to help you. Not always, sometimes there is.
There is, absolutely. And it may be someone from your life that's passed on before you. It may be your guides, but there's always someone to help.
There's always someone to help you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's a good note to end
Good
on.
reassurance.
Yes. Thank you very much for the interview.
Welcome.
Okay, I want to say goodbye to our audience. Thank you for watching another edition of Parapsychology Today. If you want to contact Ashley, we'll have her website on our credits, and also we will have our email, so you can email us and let us know what topics you'd like us to talk about. Remember, it's Parapsychology Today, so you know what kind of topics we're doing. Thanks again for watching another edition. We hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.